Despite all the uncertainty and craziness lately, I've noticed that there's a lot of people going out of their way to do nice things, especially our first responders, healthcare workers, things of that nature. There's so many different, professions that are really stepping up. It was kind of hard to get it all into one card. So Ron designed kind of a general thank you card that would fit pretty much anybody that does anything above and beyond as of late. And that's what we're going to put together today. It's a very simple card, only took me maybe, 5 minutes to cut out. And in this video, actually, I'm not sure if I've done this before, but we're going to do a little print and cut demonstration for the Cricut as well. It's a very simple, and before we get into the actual assembly, I'm going to show you how I cut this out using my Cricut Maker. So let me grab my laptop and I'll show you how we got this cut out. For our Cricut users, in order to do the print and cut, let me show you what you need to do. So we're going to go to Upload, and we're going to click Upload Image, just like you're bringing in an SVG file. Nothing much different here. So we're going to hit Browse, and we're going to navigate to the folder that contains your files, just like you normally do when you're uploading SVG files. In this case, it's the Service Worker card. So let's open that up. We're going to go into the SVG folder, and you'll notice that you have an Extras folder in that folder. Open that up, and then we'll have a Print to Cut option. And you'll see that there are two options in here. One is a PNG file, and the other is an SVG file. Okay, we're going to open up the PNG file and hit Choose. Okay, and I'm just going to leave this at Simple. So you want to select the Simple option, hit Continue. Okay, I think it just needs a minute to preview. I was having some issues with this, but if you zoom out, you'll see the Print to Cut. Okay, and we don't want to erase anything. If anything, we can, there's nothing really to erase. Let's just leave it as is and hit Continue. Okay, and then we're going to select this option here that says Save as a Print Then Cut Image, and hit Save. And you'll see it here. So go ahead and select it there and click Insert. Now when you bring it in, it's going to be really, really large. Okay, and the reason for that is because it's a image that we saved optimized to print. So we will have to resize this. And the reason you're watching this video is to get the sizing information, because I've pre-sized it for you. You want to set the height to 6.75 inches. Okay, I already did it once. I just had that there so I can remember what it was. So we're going to select this, make sure that this is locked, and we're going to change the height to 6.75 and hit Enter. Okay, it's going to resize it for us. It should be about 4.8 inches wide. Let me compare it to my other one, and that looks spot on. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. We don't need to. So again, your height that you want to set this to is 6.75 inches. That will automatically adjust the width, so you don't need to worry about that. So you want to set the height, and at this point, you're ready to hit Make It. It'll put it on your mat for you. There's nothing else we need to do here, just one copy. We don't need to mirror it, so we'll hit Continue. Okay, it's already connected to my Maker, which is fine. And I've taken a 12 by 12 sheet of my paper and just trimmed it to 8.5 by 11 with my trimmer. We're going to send it to printer. And you want to make sure you select the correct printer there. I did not add bleed. I'm not worried about that because there's nothing to print around the edges. So I uncheck that and I just hit print, and it's going to go ahead and print it out now. Okay, so I've got my paper loaded. I'm going to head on over to Design Space and hit Print, and it should get going here. Okay, it looks like it did a pretty good job printing this out, so we're just going to put it on our mat, and you can see that with the Cricut, these are the registration marks, which is different, but it works. We'll feed it in, load it, and we can head over to Design Space, and I'm just going to set my material. I always do cardstock for intricate cut, and I hit more on the pressure. You may do it a little bit differently, but that's fine. And we'll just simply make it. And the little light turns on, and that's trying to read the registration marks. In the past, when I did this with my Air, it wouldn't work on colored cardstock, but it looks like they've maybe improved it, and it does work on colored cardstock now. It's got one more registration point, and that's good. Checking to make sure we got the right blade, and it's ready to cut. And it's ready to cut. That's going through it a second time because I always use the cardstock for intricate cuts. It just makes sure that everything cuts out precisely the first time. And there we go, and there we go. Okay, let's take a look here. And you can see we've got our beautiful print to cut, and it should have put it exactly where we wanted it. There we go. Okay, so we're ready to put this thing together, or at least finish putting it together. Okay, so not too bad, pretty straightforward. Now we have our piece ready, and can actually, let's begin by gluing this piece down. And here's our card base, by the way. I've got it folded already. And let me grab this piece here. Let's get our glue on this panel that we just cut out with the print and cut. Oops. And we want to basically center this right onto the right side of our card. Do your best to get it as centered as possible, because that little caption that we just cut out is going to show through. And mine's a tad bit off. There we go, that's good enough, I think. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, as long as you can see the caption from the front. That's all we're really concerned about here. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece here and we're going to glue this down. We want to make sure that we get this glued in place here so that well, it's nice and flush with this little inner circle. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to put glue on the perimeter of this, but we don't want to put it too far inside because we're not exactly sure where these little rays from the sun are going to be, so we want to do that here. Okay, and then just do a thin little line of glue around the inside. And we'll do our best. I'm kind of holding it like this with these two fingers so I can feel with my fingers where that ring is, that little circle, and then just try to get that nice and centered, and that should have worked out nicely. Let's take a look at the front. Perfect. Okay, and I did accidentally get a little bit of glue there, but that's okay, not a big deal. Okay, so that's that. Now, technically, if you wanted to, you could omit this little thank you or this thanks banner. And if you have from your personal library or from the Cricut library or even from one of our other bundles, if you want to put like the nurse cap from one of our bundles up here instead, you can definitely do that. There's no rule saying you can't. Okay, so let's put our little banner together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue it to this, I think it's a lollipop color. So let's flip this over, get our glue on this part of the banner. We don't want to put it on the pink color because we wouldn't be able to tell where the cutouts are, and then you'll end up getting glue showing through. We don't want that. That should be plenty. And just line that up. You'll notice that the little A is cut out. That's just so you didn't have to glue every single letter down. And we'll put this in the back, and that'll fill in that little gap there. So you've got your nice little banner there. Throw a little bit of glue on that. Very quick card. Absolutely no reason why I couldn't make a bunch of these. There we go. Okay, so there's the thanks portion. Now, the bottom of the banner, you'll notice that on the front of the card here, there are a few markers to help you with the positioning of the banner. There's a few down here where this little point is. So that's just to kind of help you get that glued down. I'm going to glue this part down flat and then take the thanks portion and actually pop dot that, give it a little bit of dimension. Card is simple enough, may as well do a couple little extra things to it to make it special. And that was on there perfectly. Okay, and we'll get our little foam squares, flip this guy over. I think 3 would probably do. We'll do one in the center, peel that off. Okay, and we just want to match that up with the little shadow area. And you'll notice that I did actually ink this with a little bit of turquoise, so the white parts. Okay, so there you have it. Thanks for all you do. Plenty of room for a little caption, or not a caption, but a little sentiment. You got plenty of room for multiple signatures if you wanted to do this from a group of people. And then finally, there's a little heart here. I took some liquid pearls, just added a little, it's kind of like a little reflection. Okay, and we're gonna throw I hope it's dry, throw a little pop dot on that, a little foam square, peel that back. And that's gonna go right at the end of the string, just like that. There you go, that's it. Very simple little card. Simple, effective, very thoughtful. They'll appreciate it, absolutely. And then of course, no card is complete without an envelope. And we have just a simple envelope here. Nothing crazy as far as the design. I've got it folded. You want to take the 2 sides, bring them in, and just throw a little bit of glue right on the inside of each of these flaps, like so. And then fold this up, press that down and hold it for just a few moments while it sets. Here we go. Okay, and you can see here how nicely that fits in there, and your card is done. Okay, so anyway, very simple project, perfect for a beginner, and will be a walk in the park for all of our Dreaming Tree veterans. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, hit that little bell so that you get little notifications anytime we release a new freebie, a new product, or any of our educational videos. And if you make this or anything from our site, especially from the last bundle, the Mother's Day bundle, we'd love to see it. So head on over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Group, or you can use this little link, the URL, just right here below me, and type that in directly into your browser. It'll take you right there. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I look forward to crafting with you again.